Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Russell Berrie Foundation, making a difference, the New Jersey Education Association, Wells Fargo, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Georgian Court University, Summit City MD, a provider of primary, specialty, and urgent care, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, NJM Insurance Group, serving New Jersey's drivers, homeowners, and business owners for more than 100 years. And by Fedway Associates, Inc. Promotional support provided by bestofnj.com, all New Jersey in one place. And by NJ Biz, providing business news for New Jersey for more than 30 years. Online, in print, and in person. Online at njbiz.com.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are, there is always something to learn.
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No. People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
That's a good question. High five.
There he is, the iconic, the legendary Curtis Sliwa, founder of the Guardian Angels. You can check him out every day on WABC Radio. Curtis and Juliet, 12 to 3 p.m. How you doing, my friend?
Not good.
What?
Gucci has culturally appropriated my red beret.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. All the fashionistas, right, in Milan and Paris and New York, they all had styling and profiling the red beret. They're selling them for $350, and they're not throwing no coin to the Guardian Angels.
Nobody's throwing off anything.
Not even the hairs of my chinny chin chin.
Okay, by the way, was it 1979?
1979, 40 years ago. Excellent.
And by the way, we're going into 2000 with this show as well. You had the idea because?
Oh, the crime. I mean, New York City had fallen into the abyss. Remember, massive cutbacks. We were on the brink of fiscal collapse. That was when Gerald Ford said, drop dead New York City.
Right.
We're not bailing you out. Ed Koch came in, and he couldn't hire anyone. In fact, he had to lay off cops, firefighters, teachers, social workers, and there were no cops in the subways. And I was running a Mickey D's up in the Boogie Down Bronx.
That's right.
This is when hip-hop came about. And I decided, you know what? I'm single. I'm able-bodied. I'm just going to basically brainwash my closing crew and have Ray Kroc pay extra overtime to them so they could come patrol with me, the number 4 train, the Muggers Express.
That's how it happened.
Yeah, Ray never knew that he paid for that startup.
Google Ray Kroc. You'll get it. Can we do some politics?
Sure.
But by the way, set up the show, describe the show every day so people can know what they're listening to on your show.
Well, unlike most talk radio, right, which is bombastic towards Trump, there's idolatry, you know, Trump, oh, it's the Mashiach. I hate Trump, and my partner, Juliet, hates Trump. Juliet Huddy.
But?
There's no buts there, so that's...
Yeah, we don't trash the guy every day.
Not every day, but we take a beating. Because remember, I started out early on when he was the candidate, because I've known Trump. Yeah, I've had the love-hate relationship with him over the years. And I said, this is going to be the George Steinbrenner of American politics. He's a manic, he's a depressive, he's a screwball and a crackpot, but he's not intellectually stupid, like a lot of the people who are running against him. He talks the language that makes love to a lot of Americans' ears. They like that language. And that's how he got into the Oval Office. It wasn't necessarily Hillary's failings. He took a little bit of that WWE approach. He had the schmaltz. You know, he was an entertainer. He did the stand-up. And he said things that people wanted to hear. Unlike all the other politicians who would give you the mumbo-jumbo, you know, who were truly intellectually stupid.
So as we go into 2020, let the impeachment process play out.
Sure.
Let's make this more evergreen, if you will.
Sure.
Impressed by the field of Democratic candidates. We don't know what it's going to look like as we move forward. The caucuses will take place. There'll be the other primary, Super Tuesday. Impressed by the field?
I have no problem with the field. Bernie the Altacaca Sanders, right? He's the ultimate warrior. How he got into the Democratic Party when he's never been a Democrat is the miracle of all miracles, but he is consistent. Elizabeth Warren is sort of like his New Jack student. So you get a variety amongst the Democrats. You get the moderates, you get the extremists, and now you get the billionaires. You know, Bloomberg with his bloomy dollars. So
What do you think about Bloomberg?
Bloomberg, and I've known him well. I supported him for mayor. But there's a man who believes that every American has a price, and he can buy anybody or anything in America, and he's going to try to buy the presidency.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. This is not a man with a great ideology. Remember, he's vacillated from one side to the next. Oh, I need the Democratic line. I'll buy it. I need the Republican line. I'll buy it. I'm an independent. I'm for term limits, but not for me. I'll take an extra 4 years.
What about stop and frisk?
Stop and frisk. Oh, did he flip the script on that? Although...
Give people some history on that. Where was he?
Well, first off, stop and frisk was started when Rudy Giuliani first was elected. But it was used as a tool because you had guns running amok and homicides that were off the hook. By the time Bloomberg took over with his preferred police commissioner, Kelly, towards the end, it became a quota game. Imagine 1 out of every 8 New Yorkers in the final years of Bloomberg's administration was getting stopped and frisked. They weren't your color. They weren't my color.
That's right.
They were blacks and Hispanics. That was totally unnecessary. And then all of a sudden, he does the mea culpa, the mea maxima culpa.
I was wrong.
Just before he announced
what's wrong with that, Curtis?
Oh, come on.
To say he evolved, he had new information, he saw the light. Well, yeah, no, you don't buy it?
It's called my pollsters told me I better do this if I'm going to win in the Deep South where there are predominantly black Democratic voters. And remember, you're going to have guys like Al Slim Shady Sharpton who are like vultures and buzzards, ready to go out there throughout America and warn everyone this is the guy who implemented stop and frisk.
Okay, remember, we're doing the show as we tape on December the 4th, 2019. Seen later. Let's play word association.
Sure.
Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy Giuliani, my kumbara cheats. What happened? He's going to bots. He's.
People don't know what bots means.
Oh, what he does? The Ukraine.
Mental capability right now.
It's like Don Quixote. He's swinging at the windmills, and they all say the Ukraine. Rudy, it's Russia. Russian collusion. Nothing to do with the Ukraine. This guy has all the furniture upstairs and now rearranged in the wrong rooms.
But that's not how you saw him when he was U.S. attorney.
Oh, no. When he was U.S. attorney, nobody locked up more mobsters choking on their lobsters and white-collar criminals from Wall Street than Rudy. Great mayor, gave the city a badly needed colonic. But ever since he's teamed up with Trump, they're the Siamese twins of conspiracy. They can't get enough conspiracy. They should be listening to late-night radio where you can hear that from A to Z.
Where's AM radio these days?
AM radio is active-minded. See, FM, you freaking morons, feeble-minded, fornicating madly, free marijuana, that's FM radio. AM, you have to... It activates your mind. It makes you think. Nowadays, the trend is podcast. Everybody, you have a podcast, right? My plumber has a podcast. My dentist was doing root canal. He was telling me, I want you to listen to my podcast. You know what this reminds me of? In the 80s, everybody had to do stand-up comedy, right? Everybody was doing stand-up comedy.
That's what podcasts are?
Well, it's a trend. And notice, you can't even find a stand-up comedy joint anymore. Very few people are doing stand-up comedy. So there will be good podcasters who survive. But the mass majority of podcasts, hey, when do you have the time to listen to podcasts, right? You're working 2 jobs, right, just to make ends meet. You're multitasking.
I'm curious about this because you've not only survived but thrived in the media industry for a long time. You have a new owner over at WABC?
Oh, yeah, thank God he saved us. Or I'd have to be talking Mandarin, Chinese, Spanish, or Russian.
John Catsimatidis.
That's right.
Put this in perspective. Ran for mayor. Check him out. Businessman, business professional, entrepreneur in New York. Let me ask you something. You've never seemed to care much about management's, quote, point of view, who owns this, who owns that. Do you care when you're critical of Trump? Or whatever, who you're critical of, do you care what management thinks about your point of view?
No, because if I had to start processing it, then I'd be like a politician speaking with a 7-second sound delay. And remember, radio, which I love, is theater of the mind. You know, I'm not going to change one person's point of view who's listening to News Talk Radio. They already come in with firm convictions. I got to entertain. I can inform them. But the likelihood is I'm not changing anybody's mind out there. Well, you have these pundits who come on and they pound the bully pulpit. And it's like, that's why I don't go to church. That's why I don't go to sessions with professors who put me to sleep, because that's what a lot of talk radio does right now, is it puts you to sleep. Everybody sounds exactly the same.
You're not looking to change anyone's mind.
They mimic one another.
But you're not looking to change anyone's mind.
No. I'm looking to inform you of things you might not have known about and give you a good belly laugh along the way, because that's how you'll lighten up and you'll be more open to discussion, because it can be a very closed-minded world. You know, I'm on the right, I'm on the left. Oh, we're not enemies. We're all Americans, right?
That's right?
We're supposed to be sharing ideas and enjoying one another's company.
So you understand what PBS is about.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here.
It's for the public.
Exactly.
Because if you go to commercial radio, all you get is Trump, 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 Trump.
Not here, my friend. Thank you, brother.
Very good. Pleasure.
This is Curtis Sliwa. Check him out every day on WABC 77. WABC from 12 to 3 with Juliet Huddy.
That's right, Juliet Huddy. And guess what?
Go ahead.
We're never Trumpers. Call me human scum, Mr. President, or Drek, I am, because I am not your sycophant, toady, or lackey.
That's Curtis Sliwa. I'm Steve Adubato. Stay with. We'll be right back, I think. I think we're still on the air.
To watch more One-on-One with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
We are honored to be joined by Sergeant First Class Harvey Craig, otherwise known as Sergeant Craig. And he is an Army instructor at Irvington High School and their junior ROTC program, and also 2016-17 Essex County Teacher of the Year. Sergeant, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
So, you work with young people every day, and you have encouraged them to consider the possibility of a military life, in large part because it changed your life?
Correct.
How so?
Certainly. I graduated from Westside High School, and I didn't have many teachers
Because it's in Newark, New Jersey.
In Newark, New Jersey, definitely right. That's right, South Orange Avenue.
Right.
And I really didn't have any of my teachers who spoke to me about college. So the military was going to be my way to get out and go see the world. Did my 20-plus years, came back, doing after my time, found out about JROTC, said I'm coming home. I'm going to come home and use what the Army taught me to help other young people.
I'm a student of leadership. Military leadership fascinates me. Most significant lesson you learned about leadership in the military life is?
Wow. First of all, leaders must provide direction, motivation, and purpose. That's what I tell my cadets every day. Just because you're that leader, the one who's in charge, and think you can scream and yell the most, that doesn't make you a leader. First, you have to, if you give me the mission and the task, tell me the purpose. Why am I doing this? Then you got to motivate me, make me want to do it. And give me the direction. Give me some good, clear instructions on what I'm going to do. That's what leaders do.
You know, it's fascinating. I'm reading about you. In 2014, a very personal and significant health care scare, you had a heart attack.
Correct.
In the course of your treatment, you're in seeing a cardiologist. Tell everyone what happens during that period.
Well, I had a heart attack in Irvington High School. Just got finished teaching my class.
Wow.
Went in, had my surgery. Come back, I'm seeing my cardiologist, and they call my name. Then I hear a voice in the background say my name, repeat my name after it. I said, wow. So we get up to walk in there. Here comes one of my students, Lorenzo Charles, one of my former cadet command sergeant major.
Say it again, who was?
Lorenzo Charles.
All right.
Said he was going to be a doctor when I had him in school. And this kid is now in the room with me and my cardiologist talking about my heart. I cried like a baby.
Because?
Here's a kid who I had an opportunity to help. Here's a kid who kept his dream, and he made it. And I just couldn't take it that he was there helping me. And that's what it's all about, leaving that footprint.
You have no idea how many people you left a footprint on with, however you want to describe it, right?
No.
That was just by chance you found that out?
Just by chance.
It meant a lot to you?
It did.
So it's interesting. We have a video, part of the Classroom Close-Up series. We're partners with the New Jersey Education Association to do this wonderful series called Classroom Close-Up. You've learned a little bit about the sergeant, and here's even more important information.
Raiders, fall in! Mission accomplished. Raiders, roll out!
To me, JROTC is a segue from your teenage years to your adult years. There are skills that you're going to need as an adult that JROTC can provide for you.
At
One of the greatest things I can say about JROTC, even though we're an elective, our kids learn so much. So we teach geography, our kids learn financial literacy, our kids learn history. We all know about English language, so they learn ELA. Math, they're on math. It's about academics to me first and foremost.
How many years have you been in Irvington High School?
3 years, sir.
3 years. This is your last year.
Yes, sir.
But this is your first year in JROTC.
Yes, sir.
And this is the first year in high school you have made honor roll.
Yes, sir.
Many students come from homes where there's no structure. Our parents are so busy working, they don't have the time to give the love and attention and guidance to properly prepare their sons and daughters. We feel that vacuum to a great extent.
I know a lot of young people, they might not have role models within their homes or even around them, like their friends might not be doing the right things. But Major Monroe and Sergeant Craig, they never hesitate to set you straight.
It's an amazing program, and it builds character not only within the students in the program, but students throughout the entire building. They are the message for Irvington. You know, you read things in the paper and you hear about things happening in Irvington, but these students, they are Irvington, and they're what Irvington is all about.
Last year, I wasn't in JROTC. I just always used to be in the hallways and skip class and never really paid attention. But now, I improved my study habits by quite a lot, so be average now.
In the senior class, we have probably 5 of our kids that's going to graduate in the top 12. Top 12 is a big thing here in Irvington High School.
Major Monroe and Sergeant Craig, the passion that they exhibit from day to day. It's not, I'm teaching a curriculum. Their goal is to teach students those lifelong skills that's gonna help them outside of Irvington High School.
Once the kids begin to understand that we are there for them and we care, they come around. It brings joy to my heart to do the job I do. Yeah.
Coming from an inner city, a lot of folks expect different things, or they expect the worst. My superintendent, she hears me say this all the time. I said, there's diamonds in Irvington. There's diamonds here. We just have to shine those diamonds, let the world see those diamonds shine. And that's what I care for, and that's what I want to do. I want to make them shine.
What are you feeling right now?
Wow, emotional. Emotional. Seeing some of those young kids are in the service. Some of them are in college. Some of them are in SROTC, will be future officers. It just touched me. Just every time I see it, it gets me emotional.
You've seen it more than once.
I see those kids all the time.
No, you've seen that video more than once and it still gets you.
I share it every year to the incoming kids. The incoming freshmen, we share that video to let them know what the program is about.
Young lady in there, her name is Berlin, I think. She said she was watching it go by and then she became a part of it. What's happening with her?
Well, Berlin Julian is one of my company commanders. She's Bravo company commander. She's doing very well, one of the track athletes in the district. And she just changed her life. She said it herself because of ROTC.
So, to a fair number of people, Sergeant Craig, they think they know what young people in urban areas, by the way, it could be Irvington, it could be Newark, Jersey City, Camden, Trenton, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn, wherever. We don't know what these young people are capable of, but it's way more than what most people assume.
That's right. That's right.
You expect a lot of them, don't you?
I do.
You're tough with them?
I am.
With love?
I am. The kids call my partner there, you saw Major Monroe.
Yeah.
We're like father and mother. So sometimes other kids come at us. One of us is the father, one of us is the mother. But they know that we're real with them. And that's what the kids will say, that we're real.
Sergeant, I started out by saying thank you for your service, and I'll repeat that. But in this moment, more importantly, right now, thank you for what you're doing for these very talented future leaders of tomorrow in the Irvingtons of the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for
Stay
having me.
right there. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
To watch more One-on-One with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
$30 million Americans are currently dealing with diabetes. Within 5 years, that number is projected to go potentially as high as 50 million. 12% of the population just in the Garden State, our home state of New Jersey. This is Steve Adubato on location, and we are at the Garfield Community Engagement Center talking about diabetes, which you need to know. On our end, the grant that we received is about public awareness. around diabetes. And I have to tell you, one of the first things that struck me is I'm not sure people, A, know what diabetes is, doctor, and B, the difference between type 1 and type 2. You're on.
Well, Steve, that is certainly a question that comes up a lot. Diabetes is, in a simple way, is basically a problem with how insulin works. And there are several types. Type 1 diabetes is where there is destruction of the islet cells in the pancreas that are responsible for making and secreting insulin. Type 2 diabetes is a more slow and progressive form where there is decreased production of insulin, or that person might just be resistant to the insulin that they make.
Is one more dangerous than the other?
You know, we like to think of it that all diabetes is dangerous. The difference in part might be that with type 1, much more sudden onset. And so the symptoms sometimes are much more severe. So for example, unintentional weight loss that is rapid over days or weeks, increased thirst, increased urination, feeling extremely tired, numbness and tingling of the hands or feet, blurry vision, recurrent infections that don't seem to heal. So those are the things that we certainly want our listeners to be aware of. But for most of our patients, they have no symptoms.
There is a program called the Prevent T2 program that the Centers for Disease Control, the federal government, put out. What is that program, doctor?
Well, that's a program that's basically geared towards helping persons who are at risk for diabetes to begin to implement lifestyle measures, exercise, so that they can prevent the development of the disease.
So Russell Berrie Foundation has given us a 3-year grant to implement the Prevent T2 program in the City of Garfield. And so that program has allowed us to engage different community members, to learn more about diabetes, and then to join in our T2 program.
We are, in fact, joined by Darlene Ravel, who is, in fact, a public health nurse, City of Garfield coordinator of a program called Generations for Garfield, which is
an age-friendly community initiative. It's funded by the Henry and Marilyn Taub Foundation, and it's to help folks age in place so that people don't have to leave their community as they age, and it's to create the resources that help people have a more livable community.
Got it. Now, we are, in fact, focusing on diabetes prevention, public awareness of diabetes through a grant from the Russell Berrie Foundation. The Berrie Foundation is involved here as well.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Russ Berrie heard about the work that we were doing here in Garfield around healthy lifestyle, our focus to help people develop healthy lifestyle habits. They saw that we have a unique approach because we take a team approach. Not any one person knows everything. So we have the Community Police Division, Community Affairs. We have a number of institutions of higher learning.
Involved in diabetes?
Yes.
How so?
Involved in all of our programs because to address the diabetes, it's lifestyle habits.
What do you mean? Give us an example.
Healthy eating, exercise. Just to have the information isn't enough. And anytime you try to help people develop healthy lifestyles, it has to be fun.
So we come in here to the Garfield Community Engagement Center. Again, we see the students, we see law enforcement, we see teachers. And what is fun about them making and eating food that is healthier for them and reduces their risk of getting diabetes? How do they make that fun?
Okay, this is how we do it. So we take everything, we start to look through our age-friendly community initiative lens. Social inclusion is really important in people's health, especially how they eat, especially the risk for diabetes in the older population. But it also affects younger people and what their eating habits are about. So to try to address all of these things, we said, well, why don't we have the kids make breakfast, invite the seniors in, they can have a practice. This particular group of kids here, we're helping them to transition from students to adult and independent living. They're from the Multiple Disabilities Program. So we want to make sure that they also have an opportunity to live independently. When they age out of this program, where do they go next? We thought, why not have a program, a coffee shop type of business? So this is just
coffee shop
business.
What is, again, I have to ask, what does that have to do with diabetes?
Because people want to go be social, but so often social eating is not healthy. How can we change that? How can we transition to where the kids are here learning, they're taking part in the diabetes prevention program, so they're engaged in the curriculum, but then we're adding the fun factor to it. They're creating fun, delicious recipes, making that the norm instead of all the fast junk food. So we have a program where the kids are making breakfast.
The class I really like a lot. It's a lot of fun.
You know, we get to learn new things every day. You know, you learn something new every day, so.
For me, I like the cooking. I really do enjoy cooking, but especially for cooking for other people, because when you cook something for other people, and if they say you like, and if they say they like your cooking, it kind of gives you, kind of confidence and, optimism that shows that you can, cook for other people.
We walked in, we saw a teacher and students, and they're involved in, it seemed to me to be an educational awareness initiative around what we need to be eating to lower our risk. So what are we talking about?
So the students that you saw are also part of our program. And so people learn how to eat healthier, increase their fruits and vegetable consumption, avoid sugary sweets, and to balance that out with about 150 minutes of moderate physical activity each week. Many of us know what we need to do, but the T2 curriculum helps people learn a little bit more detail. It allows them to have the motivation. They come together and they work as a group, and they monitor their changes.
Final comments, Dr.?
And I would say at Hackensack, we are taking on diabetes head-on with the beginning of our Diabetes Institute that we hope to open in the next few weeks, where we will be tackling diabetes prevention, diabetes treatment. We have a Molly Diabetes Center that is focused on education, and so there are many good things happening in New Jersey to try to combat this issue of diabetes.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berrie Foundation, the New Jersey Education Association, Wells Fargo, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Georgian Court University, Summit City MD, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, NJM Insurance Group, and by Fedway Associates, Inc. Promotional support provided by bestofnj.com and by NJ Biz. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
NJM Insurance Company has been serving New Jersey policyholders for more than 100 years. But just who are NJM's policyholders? They're the men and women who teach our children, the public sector employees who maintain our infrastructure, the workers who craft our manufactured goods, and New Jersey's next generation of leaders, the people who make our state a great place to call home. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.